Josh, I hear there's a fight in LA this weekend.
Rachel, let's call it a battle.
Ooh.
A quarterback battle. Sports scene.
Starts now.
I think this game is so important for us and our seniors when you look at it. The Victory Bell is something that's truly special to this university.
Welcome into the Annenberg Media Center. I'm Rachel Frayne.
I'm Josh Cohen.
And before we talk UCLA-USC football, let's take a little look at UCLA basketball. This morning, it was announced that the 3 players who were caught in a little incident in China were suspended indefinitely until the team goes through university procedures to look into the investigation. That includes LiAngelo Ball, little brother of Alonzo Ball, who left UCLA last year and is now playing for the Lakers.
Absolutely. But USC-UCLA football set for prime time 5 Pacific at the Coliseum this Saturday.
And UCLA versus USC, but is it really Sam Darnold versus Josh Rosen? We'll see. It is a huge game for both of them, and we've been looking forward to it all season long. A chance to prove who the best quarterback in LA really is.
No question. And Sam Darnold's been looking great recently. There you see a rushing touchdown. He's been doing that great, but just fluid. Great pocket passer, as we know, but so mobile. Just ball on the money right there. Unbelievable play. And like I said, just so good with his legs as well. Something he talked about at practice yesterday.
I think it's just kind of being in the right place at the right time, being able to scramble and kind of the defense maybe being in some man coverage, so when our guys run them off the ball, there's no one there to really account for me.
And we know what Sam can do, but what can Josh Rosen do? He's pretty much the sole star over at UCLA, carrying the team on his back, or his arm, should I say. A natural passer, great in the pocket, but Josh, what makes him so special?
The ball jumps out of his hand. And like you said, he's a cerebral player, just a natural pocket passer, a lot of fun to watch. And I'll tell you what, the precision, all that stuff that we see from him, Clay Helton knows he's got it.
Been very impressed with his accuracy as well as his ball placement and spreading the ball around a number of different receivers.
Well, both teams with excellent quarterbacks, but Josh, what does USC have that UCLA doesn't?
Well, right now the defense has been phenomenal. I mean, I know you got some stats on
Very
them, but
clearly.
they've been great.
Well, they're second in the Pac-12 in interceptions with 15 already on the season. They lead the nation in sacks lead the conference in sacks and are number 2 in the nation in the same stat.
Seeing plenty of coverage sacks too. I mean, the defensive backs have been absolutely phenomenal this year and really tough for UCLA. No receiver, Darren Andrews, out for the season with a knee injury. Biletnikoff, semi-finalist. So that's a big blow for them. We'll see if they can overcome it against a very, very strong, not only front 7 for SC, but also defensive backfield.
Yeah, of course.
That's going to force some of those sacks as well. All right, they've been doing battle since 1929, USC and UCLA for the Victory Bell. And for more history on this rivalry, let's send it out to Angel Viscara, who's a Tommy Trojan.
Thanks, Josh. Well, anytime you look at this USC-UCLA rivalry, you've got to look at things from the defensive side, as the Trojans will be taking on Josh Rosen-led UCLA offense. But it's safe to say that the football field is not the only place where defense is being played this week. It's being played on the USC campus by the Trojan Knights as they protect 24/7 around the clock monuments like Tommy Trojan. But this year, things are a little different. With the addition of the USC Village, Hecuba is one of USC's newest monuments, and now the Hellenes, a student organization, are protecting the statue around the clock. We had the chance to chat with a member of the Hellenes about this new protection.
This is going on my 32nd hour out here. The idea is that when I'm not in class or in another meeting, I'll be here.
What that means is it's a 24-hour watch of Hecuba. So at any given time, you're going to find at least a couple Hellenes, if not hordes of us.
I feel like the Village really brings in a new age of expansion just for USC, and to have a statue of a woman there to celebrate it and have Hellenes have their own Tommy Trojan counterpart, I feel like it's very progressive.
Fantastic stuff from the Hellenes, but now I am joined by a member of the Trojan Knights, Evan Celia. Evan, what a tradition for the Trojan Knights. You guys have been doing it since the 1940s. What's it like to be a part of it all?
Honestly, it's so much fun, such a good time, defending Tommy for our boys, spending the night, getting food, getting sponsors. It's really such a good time.
All right, you mentioned spending the night. I think a lot of people are just curious. Those 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m. hours, what are you guys doing to pass the time? I see you got quite the setup here. Just go a little into the setup.
I mean, it's just spending time, brotherhood. We got some setup, Smash Bros over here, but really we're just on the lookout for any UCLA people trying to come in and mess with our boy Tommy.
All right, and you say you're on the lookout. I mean, by that, do you guys ever get someone who maybe is wearing a UCLA hoodie? You get a little look at them. How do you guys just kind of maybe vet those UCLA pesky ones?
I mean, they'll try to be sneaky, but you can kind of tell from a mile away.
So there are attempts?
Yes, there are attempts.
Oh, wow. Okay, fantastic. Well, thank you very much. But there are two sides to every story, and there are people at UCLA who are protecting their monuments from guys like Evan and the Trojan Knights. For more, we have Sam Dodge on UCLA's protection this week.
We're here on UCLA's campus here in Westwood, where they actually started Rivalry Week a week ago. They surrounded their statue, the Bruin Bear, which looks like this, with a chalkboard in order to protect it and not have to guard it 24/7 like they do at USC. We asked students young and old how they felt about the USC rivalry and the unique decorations.
I feel like I'm obligated, to sort of be like USC, but I don't know, I think like Rivalry Week is kind of cool because like this stuff sort of comes up where they like bring out the chalkboards, and I think it's just a really like cool way for the community to come together, like show some support, like maybe throw shout outs to what you like.
I was just talking to some Brazilian friends I have with me and mentioning to them that inside there is a bear that they can't see, and the reason they can't see the bear is because it's all covered up because some awful people from USC would be coming over to paint our lovely bear a shade of red.
After 2 straight blowout wins for the Trojans in this rivalry, there's a lot of confidence for USC. There are even some Trojans who made their way out to Westwood.
USC, baby, fight on. I just want to see, I want to see UCLA go down in flames. Yeah, when I walk by these students, I just see the fear in their eyes. I see they're scared of these Trojans.
UCLA students hope they can open the Bear statue next week after a long-awaited victory over the Trojans. For Annenberg Media, this is Sam Dodge.
USC, UCLA, it's one of the biggest rivalries in college football. We've covered all the bases when it comes to on-campus activities, but for a little bit more about the rich heritage between these two teams on the gridiron, here's Anthony.
Thanks, Angel. This Saturday will be the 87th time USC and UCLA will play each other since the rivalry began in 1929. USC has had the better of the rivalry, going 48, 31, and 7. This year's game happens to be 50 years to the day of what some consider the best football game ever played between the two schools. On November 18th, 1967, USC hosted the Bruins. That game would decide the city championship, the conference championship, and which team would play in the Rose Bowl, which would likely decide the national champion. UCLA's quarterback Gary Beeman and USC running back O.J. Simpson were frontrunners for the Heisman Trophy. The game did not disappoint. The teams went back and forth. Beeman threw for 301 yards and 2 touchdowns. O.J. Simpson ran for 177 yards and 2 touchdowns. The game turned on just a few plays. In the first half, USC cornerback Pat Cashman returned a pick six for 55 yards to tie the score at 7. In the fourth quarter, Simpson exploded 64 yards for the game-winning touchdown. USC would win 21-20. In the Rose Bowl, USC would defeat the Indiana Hoosiers 14-3 to win their 6th national championship. UCLA quarterback would win the Heisman Trophy. Gary Beeman. He is still UCLA's only Heisman winner. With a win this Saturday, USC can hold on to the victory bell for the 3rd straight year. For more on today's Trojans, we'll check in with Josh Cohen.
Good stuff, Anthony. Appreciate that. Well, I'm now joined by Chris Hawkins, veteran safety on this USC football team. Chris, thanks for stopping by.
Thanks for having me.
Chris, you know this better than anyone. There are few things in this world quite like USC and UCLA. How would you describe the rivalry?
This rivalry is really nothing like it. I mean, it's pretty intense between both schools. I mean, most of the players for both schools are from this area. We all know each other, so there's a lot of trash talk going on for months. But when it comes to just two teams in the same city, both being at the top of their games, there's really nothing like it. We've won the last couple of years, but before that, they were on a streak with their wins. So, we want to keep it, to where we keep the victory bell and we keep our streak going.
Absolutely. Now, their offense, it's pretty good. What have you seen from them this season?
They're very explosive. I mean, it starts and stops with Josh Rosen. I mean, he's their guy. He makes them go. mean, he can make every throw in the book. I mean, they can get down the field in a hurry, and they'll do it in a lot of different personnels.
Absolutely. Well, you guys are riding a 3-game winning streak. What's been going right?
Just the chemistry within the team. You know, we went through a rough patch where we weren't really, clicking like we should have been. And, and now I can say we're really clicking. We're really a family again, and it's really showing on the field. We're playing really good defense and really good offense, as well as special teams.
Well, clearly the end of that rough patch was the Notre Dame game, which was obviously a tough loss. What was practice like the week after that game?
Notre Dame was a tough loss for us, and practice the next week was really, it was really intense. We were really out there battling each other. We wanted to get to the next game so fast, and it wouldn't come fast enough. But Coach Helton, made it very, very clear that we need to focus on Arizona State. They were riding, I think, a 3-game win streak themselves, so they were coming in hot, and we knew we had to go to the desert and beat them to, ultimately get to where we wanted to get to in the season.
Absolutely. And of course, part of bouncing back from a tough loss isn't just winning the next 3 games. It's mentoring some of the younger guys in the process after that kind of adversity.
Absolutely.
What'd you do and what'd you tell them?
I just told them to keep your head on straight. I've been through losses at USC before. Probably none as big as that, but, we've lost before and it hurt. There's going to be times where you're down, but you're never going to be out. Look at the Rose Bowl last year. We were down big. We came back. Defense shut them out in the fourth quarter. Our offense went on a run, scoring all those touchdowns. So, all I told them was that you're never down, and we can still get to where we want to get to at the end of the season.
Absolutely. You've played a lot of games, so many that now this Saturday, hard to believe, is going to be your last time putting on the Cardinal and Gold at the Coliseum. What kind of emotions do you think are going to be coursing through your veins before kickoff?
There's going to be a lot of emotions. I know for me and my family. USC was a dream school since I was 6 years old, since I first put the pads on, watching Reggie Bush, Lindo White, Matt Leinart, all those dudes play. So, I don't know if I'll shed any tears, maybe a little bit, but, there's going to be a lot of emotion. I have a lot of family members there. It's just going to be great to go out there, and play UCLA for my last game with my brothers.
Absolutely. Should be a good time. Well, Chris, thank you for stopping by. Chris Hawkins, everybody, safety and also a team captain. Has a nice ring to it.
Thank you.
Thanks again for the time. Really appreciate it, man. All right, let's now light the torch with Sarah McGrew. Sarah, take it away.
Thanks, Josh. The Trojans have been lighting it up on the field and the court in the last few days. From season openers to the NCAA tournament and a 5-game win streak, it's time to light the torch. Starting off on the hardwood, women's basketball opened up their season with a dominating 98-47 win over Montana State on Friday, followed by a 64-66 win over UC Riverside on Monday. Number 10 men's basketball also opened up their season on Friday, doubling up on Cal State Fullerton 84-42. Chemezi Metu led the team with a double-double, scoring 18 points and grabbing 10 rebounds. Benny Boatwright's 28 points led the Trojans to a 75-65 win over North Dakota State. Now to the pitch where the 3-seeded women's soccer hosted Eastern Washington University in a nail-biting matchup for the first round of the NCAA tournament. The Eagles opened up the game with a quick goal in the 6th minute, but Alex Anthony answered with a goal just 6 minutes into the second half of the game, tying the game at 1 and forcing overtime. Erica Akuma netted the golden goal for the Trojans seconds into the second overtime period. Soccer is now headed to College Station, Texas, where they'll face Baylor in the second round. Now back to the court, where women's volleyball has a 5-game win streak. The number 14 Trojans defeated Utah on Thursday. That winning streak continued into the weekend with a 3-2 victory over the Colorado Buffaloes. Kalia Lanier led the team with 38 kills over the weekend and was named Pac-12 and AVCA Player of the Week. Women's volleyball is taking on number 4 Stanford on the road tonight, and it'll be another busy weekend for Trojan athletics, especially with a rivalry game on all of our minds. Back to you, Josh and Rachel.
Oh, appreciate that, Sarah. I think it's safe to say the torch has been lit.
It has.
Unbelievable. Well, I'll tell you what, USC and UCLA, they've been doing battle in football. We talked about this since 1929. It's crazy. What's your favorite moment in the rivalry?
You know what? I would say 2000. David Bell hits a 36-yard field goal with 9 seconds left, and USC ends up winning the game. Love that game because David Bell just always reminds me of Chase McGrath, a third stringer. Only played a couple games after that. But that's all we got for this week, so please follow us on social media, and we'll see you next week.